Hello, I'm Cameron Walker and you're watching GBN Royal, and I have just got back from Hammersmith where I've been following the King at Europe's largest Polish community centre, and he met people from all walks of life, helping them celebrate the Polish community within the United Kingdom. He remarked, of course, about his recent trip to Krakow for the 80th anniversary for the liberation of Auschwitz. He was viewing a number of paintings by Polish Jewish artists who lived in London. He also met a World War II veteran who fought on the Normandy beaches in 1944. The King had met him previously and he remarked quite how good his memory was. So here is a little summary of what the King got up to yesterday. Europe's largest Polish centre, welcoming a very special visitor. King Charles met members of the community to help them celebrate and promote Polish culture in Britain. But some remember a time post-Brexit where a small minority chose to attack that culture. Here's Joanna Modziska, former chairman of the Polish Social and Cultural Association.
The staff came in the morning on the Sunday morning and found a very unpleasant graffiti across the glass at the front of the building. There were some very unpleasant things happening all around the country, but you know, we forget. We can't hold grudges.
But I was in Krakow the other day too briefly, but that's what.
The King reminisced about his time in Poland last week, attending the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. He was viewing paintings by Polish Jewish artist Felix Fabian, who lived in London. But he did correct one caption, mislabelling the lifeguards as Coldstream guards.
What do you usually use for pictures?
Upstairs, he met Polish people from all walks of life, education, culture, and the military. Piotr Wilczek, Poland's ambassador to the UK, praises His Majesty's support.
The King's support is very important. The King, as Prince of Wales, was in this Polish Cultural Centre exactly 15 years ago. So this is his second visit, and he remembers the centre very well, and he wanted to come back, to come again, because this is a hub for the Polish community.
There we are. Perhaps a highlight for the King was reuniting with 102-year-old World War II veteran Edmund Niedzielski. He's met the King on several occasions, including last June, for the D-Day 80 commemorations.
He said to me, "I remember you." So he's got a very good memories as well, as I do.
Before he left, the King spent time talking to members of the public. He was particularly taken with Prudence, a white Pomeranian.
We just had in shampoo.
His Majesty still continues his weekly cycle of cancer treatment, but shows no sign of slowing down. Cameron Walker, GB News in Hammersmith. Well, you may have spotted that we spoke to both the Polish ambassador and Joanna, the former chairperson of the Polish Community Centre in Hammersmith. And we've got a treat for you, some extended interviews with them. Take a listen. How important is the King's support for the Polish community here in the UK?
The King's support is very important. The King, as Prince of Wales, was in this Polish Cultural Centre exactly 15 years ago. So this is his second visit, and he remembers the centre very well, and he wanted to come back, to come again, because this is a hub for the Polish community. This centre was established in the 1960s as it was established by many Polish organizations who sold their properties and built here in Hammersmith one big Polish cultural center. It's very diverse. It also serves the community. So His Majesty knows about that, and he really wanted to come here again.
And in the gallery here, he mentioned his visit last week to Krakow for the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. Quite poignant for him, but he reflected on that, didn't he?
He did reflect on that. It was extremely important for him to see, to participate in this commemoration in Auschwitz, to go to Krakow to meet with the Jewish community, with Polish people. But he really wanted to combine this visit with a visit to the Polish Community Center here in London. So this was a kind of supplement to his visit to Poland, and we very much appreciate it. And the exhibition here is an exhibition of a Polish Jewish artist who lived in London. And it was a great opportunity to present this exhibition to His Majesty because he was a very important Polish Jewish painter living here in London.
And upstairs at the reception, there were kind of 8 separate groups he was meeting from a broad range of organisations and kind of culture of Poland. Was there any particular points as you were accompanying His Majesty that you thought particularly stood out to him?
He met a few Polish veterans. That's important for him. He met young people, but he met people from various walks of life, from various organizations, cultural, social, educational. He discussed Polish Saturday schools with the Polish Educational Society. So it was a variety of organizations. It was actually one big crowd, as you could see, not just 8 groups. But it went very smoothly, and I think His Majesty was very, very interested in these conversations, in hearing these stories. And what is important, that as you know, the Polish heritage here in Britain has been very long. It's not after 2004. The Polish Resettlement Act of 1947 led 200,000 Polish families to settle in Britain after the war because they couldn't return to the communist Poland. So there are children and grandchildren of these people. So this is there is a long Polish history here in London, and sometimes we even called London the capital of Poland because with the government in exile, with presidents in exile under communist times, it was really a center of Polish life and indeed of the Polish government.
And the royal family as a whole supported the Polish community through that?
And it was supported. They established many organizations like the Sikorski Institute, devoted to Polish history. The Duke of Kent is a patron of this institute. We have also a club, Ognisko, the Polish Hearth. Her Majesty the Queen visited the Polish Hearth about 20 years ago. So in Kensington, but also in other neighborhoods, there are many Poles. And now it's about 800,000 Polish citizens, Poles in Britain altogether.
You mentioned to me earlier about on Brexit Day or the day after Brexit Day, this centre was attacked.
Yes, we had the staff came in the morning on the Sunday morning and found a very unpleasant graffiti across the front, across the glass at the front of the building. So we had a lot of press attention from that. Obviously, there was a lot of attention to Polish and other EU groups at the time. So yeah, we were kind of a centre of attention for a while.
And how did that affect the Polish community in the UK post-Brexit and obviously that attack?
Well, it was that attack and a lot of others. There were some very unpleasant things happening all around the country. But, you know, we forget. We can't hold grudges. We can't, you know, people were upset. Different people were upset about different things. It was unpleasant, but now we just move on. You know, we can't keep going back to that and saying, you know, people have been horrible to us. It's not right.
And 9 years later, you've got the King of the United Kingdom here in your building. What does that mean to you?
I think that means a great deal. I don't know what the reason is why the King chose to come and see us here, but I think it's brilliant. It's a real sign of appreciation, and we certainly appreciate it.
Did you have a chance to meet him?
I did, yes. Olga and I both reminded him that we were here. I was here as well when he came 15 years ago because I was with the Polish Children's Theatre, who actually performed for His Majesty then in the theatre. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do much more, but I'm glad we had the young people singing for him, because that's what it's all about. It's about the young people. This is why I'm very pleased that we have Martin as our chair now. He's the next generation. Because if we don't hand it over, you know, who's going to run it? We need to hand it over to the young generation.
Well, this has been Cameron Walker for GBN Royal. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you wish as well. Until next time, goodbye.